Education, 21st Century Literature, and Philippine and World Literature. Social Sciences, topics include anthropology, economics, history, political science, psychology, and sociology. Mathematics, topics include the basic math concepts, basic statistics, and algebra. Science and technology, topics include basic concepts in earth science, biology, physics, and chemistry. And general information, which topics include information on common events that took place in the last 2 years. And the competing team, a team is composed of 3 entrants enrolled in any STI senior high school and or STI tertiary program. A team's lineup should include 1 substitute.
So before we move forward to our mechanics, let's have the team from STI Santa Mesa. Thank you so much. Now let's have the team from STI Global City. Now let's have STI Puerto Princesa. Of course, we also have STI Marikina. We also have STI Tanay. And of course, we have STI Ortigas Caritas. STI Pasayesa. STI NAGA. And of course, STI Legazpi. Welcome everyone. Now let's have the general mechanics for this competition. The competition is divided into 4 rounds. Once and for all, double the fun, triple treat, and for the win. The level of difficulty increases as it moves to the next round. In each round, all the teams are given an equal chance to answer all the questions or items. For once and for all round, 10 questions will be asked. This round includes questions or items that triggers recall of information. Each question is worth 1 point. The teams are given 10 seconds to answer each item unless specified in the question or item. For double the fun round, 10 questions will be asked. This round has analysis type of questions or items. Each question is worth 2 points. The team are given 15 seconds to answer each item unless specified in the question or item. For triple treat round, 10 questions will be asked. This round deals with synthesis and evaluation. Each question is worth 3 points. The teams are given 20 seconds to answer each item unless specified in the question or item. For the win, 2 performance task-based questions will be asked. It involves the application of learned concepts based on a combination of subject areas. Each question is worth 5 points. The teams are given 5 minutes to answer each item unless specified in the question.
Now, let's talk about quiz contest mechanics. We have the for free contest. Each team is provided with a computer unit installed with a ThinkQuest automated system or TQAS. The teams are given approximately 10 minutes to test the assigned computer unit and the TQAS before the contest proper. The quiz master shall introduce the entrants and members of the board of judges and announce that the database of questions has been installed. For the cluster and national level, this shall be done in the presence of the TNT National Committee representative. The BOJ is provided with a hard copy of the questions per round sealed in a separate envelopes. The entrants are given 3 trials questions for them to test and get accustomed to the system before the actual competition. A printout of the ThinkQuest score sheet containing scores in the test round will be routed to the teams for them to sign. This certifies that the assigned computer unit for each team is installed with the system needed for the competition and that the said unit is virus-free, in good and acceptable operational condition and is suitable for the competition. The same copy will be routed to the BOJ to certify that all teams have checked their computers, units, and system. The accomplished sample score sheet printout will serve as the signal that the competition can start.
Now for the contest proper, questions shall be displayed or projected on the screen at each team's monitor. All questions shall be read twice and the timer starts when the quiz master says go. Answers to questions may be required to be inputted to the TQAS, manually written, or demonstrated within the allotted time. Entrants may answer or perform the task while the question is still being read. These are the conditions for answers that shall be first inputted to TQAS. Using the provided keyboard and mouse, entrants shall key in their answers in the text box or click on the corresponding option button. For items which require multiple answers, a comma must be used to separate each item. As soon as a team has inputted their answer to a particular question, they should click on the Submit button to ensure that the answer is captured by the system. However, if the time has elapsed and the team failed to click on the Submit button, the system will disable the answer text box or options and considers all characters keyed in, if any, as the final answer of the team. A member of each team is required to write the team's answers legibly on the provided clean sheets of paper, which will be collected after each round. Note that written answers must be the same as the inputted answers.
In case the TQAS inputted answer and the manually written answer are not the same, the inputted answer shall be considered as the team's final answer. Manually written answers will only be checked and accepted by the Board of Judges when technical problems such as, but not limited to, electricity or network failure arise. Answers with the corresponding correct or wrong mark as reflected in the answer database will be displayed on the team's respective computer screens. For manually written, answers that require special characters shall be written manually using the provided clean sheets of paper. Demonstrated, allotted points will only be given to teams that have successfully finished the task within the specified time limit. Answers with wrong spelling and capitalizations are considered incorrect. The Board of Judges has the authority to override the system on the acceptability of answers. Calculators are not allowed for questions that require computations. Answers that require computations must be written in their simplest form. Any team caught in the act of cheating or any form of dishonesty shall automatically be disqualified.
For scoring and declaration of winners, after each question, the teams are given corresponding points. Accumulated points are the scores for each round. Scoring is done using the computer system and a manual score sheet or scoreboard simultaneously. Scores are flashed on the provided screen. To determine the ranking, scores from the 4 rounds are accumulated. The 3 teams with the highest accumulated score shall be declared as the champion, first runner-up and second runner-up winners. However, if a team got no points, the team will not be included in the ranking. For tie-break, in case of a tie at the end of the last round, tie-breaking question or questions, as the case may be, will be given. Questions of any difficulty and type will be asked until one team gains an advantage in score over the other. The first team to gain an advantage in score will be declared the victor of the tie and will merit the corresponding award. Considered as one of the most spectacular religious events that take place in the Philippines. Thousands of devotees from all walks of life go to Quiapo to take part in the procession as a way of strengthening their faith or fulfilling their panata to the Lord. When is this event commemorated? A. January 9, B. January 12, C. January 25, or D. January 30? Let me just repeat the question. The Feast of the Black Nazarene is considered as one of the most spectacular religious events that take place in the Philippines. Thousands of devotees from all walks of life go to Quiapo to take part in their procession as a way of strengthening their faith or fulfilling their panata to the Lord. When is this event commemorated? A. January 9, B. January 12, C. January 25, or D. January 30? Go! correct answer is B, January 12. The statue was brought to the Philippines by a Spanish priest on board a galleon in the 17th century. When the ship caught fire, the image was burned and thus came to be known as the Black Nazarene. It was transferred from Intramuros to St. John the Baptist Church on January 9, 1787.
We just want to clarify that the correct answer for our test question is letter A, January 9, and not January 12, okay?
Okay. Alright, so however, can you see the scores on the board? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so shall we start? Before we start the actual round, okay, you can see the certificate of functionality. Make sure that the mouse, the keyboard is working. And as you've seen, everybody had the chance to answer naman. So please sign. Please assist lang po. Certificate of functionality.
Number 3. The following table shows the sales of smartphone by a retail store each month last year. For the month of January, we have number of sales 25, February 48, March 39, April 27, May 35, June 46, July 26, August 58, September 33, October 28, November 56, and December 63. In 30 seconds, give the range. The following table shows the sales of smartphones by a retail store each month last year. For the month of January, we have number of sales of 25, February of 48, March with 39, April with 27, May with 35, June with 46, July with 26, August with 58, September with 33, October with 28, November with 56, and December with 63. In 30 seconds, give the range. Go! The correct answer is 38. The range is the difference between the lowest and highest values. In the given data, the lowest number of sales is 25 in January, while the highest number of sales is 63 in December. Hence, the range is 63 minus 25 is equivalent to 38. STI College Ortigas Caita got the correct answer. STI College Santa Mesa got also the correct answer. And STI College Marikina got also the correct answer. Yes. STI Global City got also the correct answer.
Okay, so let's just remind the contestant that you should put the final answer, simplest form, no other characters if it is not necessary. Okay? Thank you.
So, but for question number 3, the Board of Judges agreed that we will consider the answer of STI Global City. Okay, so STI Global City got the correct answer to test number 3. Thanks so much for the tutor.
Okay, now. Alright, let's proceed to question number 4. Organisms can either be autotrophs or heterotrophs. During Joseph's fieldwork in Laguna Bay, he identified different species of algae, crustaceans, mollusks, and fish. Among the identified specimens, which is an autotroph? A. Algae, B. Crustaceans, C. Fish, D. Mollusks. Again, organisms can either be autotrophs or heterotrophs. During Joseph's fieldwork in Laguna de Bay, he identified different species of algae, crustaceans, mollusks, and fish. Among the identified specimens, which is an autotroph? A. Algae, B. Crustaceans, C. Fish, or D. Mollusks. Go! The correct answer is A. Algae. In biology, autotrophs are organisms capable of creating their own energy source. Algae are known to produce their own energy source by the process of photosynthesis. So for this question, Ortigas Gaita got the correct answer. Santa Mesa, Pasay EDSA, Global City, Puerto Princesa, and Legazpi, Naga and Tanay got the correct answer.
Question number.
She's waited half her life for this moment, but for Lisma del Rosario, the last few hours seem to take an eternity. Finally, the door to a new life is opening. A new life without a penis.
Yes, I researched for years that it's really irreversible, and I'm open about it, and I'm very happy for what you did, because it's my truth, and the truth will set free.
So let me just repeat the question. Which of the following conditions is being portrayed in the video? A. Bisexualism, B. Gender dysphoria, C. Gender identity disorder, or D. Transsexualism. Go. The correct answer is D. Transsexualism. For transsexuals, the incompatibility felt between an atomic sex and gender identity is complete, severe, disturbing, and long-standing. Transsexual men and women may or desire to make a transition from their birth sex to that of the opposite sex, with some medical alteration to their bodies, such as gender reassignment therapy and hormone replacement therapy. So for this question, STI College Ortigas Cainta got the correct answer. Everybody got the correct answer.
Kayang
Alright, so before we move to the next round, let's have the summary for the once and for all round. STI College Ortigas Cainta got 10 points. STI College Pasay EDSA got 8 points. Global City got 8 points. Marikina got 8 points. Puerto Princesa 8 points. Santa Mesa 8 points. STI College Naga 6 points. STI Tanay 6 points, and STI College Legazpi for 5 points. Okay, now let's proceed to the next round.
Let's begin the double the fun round. Under the category of arts and literature, which of the following structures exhibits biomorphism? A. Cultural Center of the Philippines. B. Chocolate Hills. C. Manila City Hall. D. National Museum of National History's Tree of Life. Again, which of the following structures exhibits biomorphism? A. Cultural Center of the Philippines. B. Chocolate Hills. C. Manila City Hall. D. National Museum of Natural History's Tree of Life. Go! The correct answer is letter D, National Museum of Natural History's Tree of Life. Biomorphism refers to the modeling artistic design elements on naturally occurring patterns or shapes reminiscent of nature and living organism. Among the 4 images shown, only the Tree of Life in the National Museum of Natural History is biomorphic, since its design and structure are patterned after a tree. Designed by Dominic Galicia and Tina Periquet, the structure holds an elevator and acts as a canopy of the courtyard. The design of the Cultural Center of the Philippines and Manila City Hall, though majestic and remarkable, is not modeled after any naturally occurring patterns. Meanwhile, Chocolate Hills is a geological formation and not human-made. For this round, STI College Ortigas Caita got the correct answer. STI College Naga got the correct answer. And STI College Tanay got the correct answer.
Alright, now let's proceed to question number 2 under the category of social science. Teacher Ben believes that students are unique in their own way with their strengths and weaknesses. He uses teaching strategies based on the different learning styles of his students, believing that no student should be left behind. Which concept of Martin Buber, a leading philosopher on dialogue, is being described? A. Imposition. B. Personal making present. C. Speechifying. Or D. Unfolding. Again, Teacher Ben believes that students are unique in their own way, with their strengths and weaknesses. He uses teaching strategies based on the different learning styles of his students, believing that no student should be left behind. Which concept of Martin Buber, a leading philosopher on dialogue, is being described? A. Imposition. B. Personal making present. C. Speechifying. Or D. Unfolding. Go! The correct answer is D. Unfolding. Unfolding constitutes finding in the other the disposition of the one that one recognizes as true, good, and faithful. In this scenario, the ideal educator cares for his students as unique, singular individuals. Both the educators and the students see each other as capable of freely actualizing themselves. So for this question, Global City got the correct answer. Marikina got the correct answer. Naga got the correct answer. And Legazpi got the correct answer.
Question number 3, under the subject area of science and technology. Daniel is trying to understand the concept of electronegativity. He chooses 5 random elements: astatine, boron, sodium, silver, and vanadium from the periodic table below. The question is, how should the 5 elements be ordered according to increasing electronegativity? Again, Daniel is trying to understand the concept of electronegativity. He chooses 5 random elements: astatine, boron, sodium, silver, and vanadium from the periodic table below. How should the 5 elements be ordered according to increasing electronegativity?
Reminder to our participants, you can hover, you can click the image so that it could be enlarged so you can see it more clearly.
Go!
Second time. Tapos sana tama.
The correct answer is, in order, sodium, vanadium, silver, boron, astatine, or CS, B, AG, B, AT. For this round, nobody got the correct answer.
Ay, salamat.
Electronegativity is the capacity of an atom to attract electrons from other atoms towards its own nucleus. Elements along the higher period or rows and to the rightmost families columns have the highest electronegativity. Since fluorine is the most electronegative element, all other elements from its left are less electronegativity. As such, sodium has the lowest affinity for electrons, followed by vanadium, silver, boron, and finally, astatine.
Alright, question number 4. Question number 4 under the category of general information. According to IMDb or Internet Movie Database, when adjusted for global inflation, Gone with the Wind of 1939 is the world's top grossing film of all time with a total gross of $3.4 billion to $3.8 billion. According to the same database, which movie would land as the world's 5th highest grossing movie of all time when adjusted for inflation? A. Avatar, B. Avengers Endgame, C. Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, or Titanic. Again, according to IMDb or Internet Movie Database, when adjusted for global inflation, Gone with the Wind 1939 is the world's top grossing film of all time with a total gross of $3.4 billion to $3.8 billion. According to the same database, which movie would land as the world's 5th highest grossing movie of all time when adjusted for inflation? A. Avatar, B. Avengers Endgame, C. Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, or D. Titanic. Go! The correct answer is B. Avengers Endgame. So for this question, STI College Global City got the correct answer, and STI College Legazpi got the correct answer. The movies Avatar, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and Titanic ranked number 3, 4, and 2 respectively. Avengers Endgame lands at number 5 with a total gross of more than $2.8 billion when adjusted for inflation.
Question number 5 under the subject area of social science. Cesar Gulay is Commissioner of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, that collects more than half the total revenues of the government. One of the powers and duties of BIR is the reduction and collection of all internal revenue, taxes, fees, and charges. During the 17th and 18th centuries, what do you call the official whose powers and duties were similar to the commissioner? A. Contador de resultas. B. Escribando. C. Enduto de comercio. D. Teniente de cementerios. Again, Cesar Dulay is the current commissioner of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, that collects more than half of the total revenues of the government. One of the powers and duty of BIR is the reduction of and collection of all internal revenue taxes, fees, and charges. During the 17th and 18th centuries, what do you call the official whose powers and duties were similar to the commissioner? A. Contador de resultas. B. Escribando. C. Enduto de comercio. D. Teniente de cementerios. Go. The correct answer is letter A, Contador de Resultas. Nobody got the correct answer. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the financial affairs of the Philippines were managed by an intendant general. Under him was the Contador de Resultas, or Chief Royal Accountant, whose functions were similar to the Commissioner of Internal Revenue. He constituted the chief financial arbitrator, whose decisions were final, except when reversed by the Council of the Indies.
Alright, let's proceed to question number 6. Under the category of mathematics. A class with 20 students took a math test. 12 students had an average score of 80. The other students had an average score of 70. Your task is to compute in 60 seconds the average score of the whole class. Again, a class with 20 students took a math test. 12 students had an average score of 80. The other students had an average score of 70. Your task is to compute in 60 seconds the average score of the whole class. Go! The correct answer is 76.
Tama, sir.
For this question, STI College Global City got the correct answer. STI NAGA got the correct answer. STI Ortigas Cainta got the correct answer. STI Pasay EDSA got the correct answer. And STI Tanay got the correct answer. So for us to get the sum of the weighted terms, we multiply each average by the number of students that had that average, and then sum them up. 80 times 12 plus 70 times 8 equals 960 plus 560, which is equal to 1,520. Using the formula, weighted average equals sum of weighted terms all over the total number of terms. The weighted average, therefore, is 1,520 over 20, which is equal to 76. Therefore, the average score of the whole class is 76.
question number 7 under the subject area of arts and literature.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face. She told me I had a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world. Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Your task is to help Johnny and his friends identify what character aspect is shown in the movie The Joker using the jumbled letters flashed on your screen. Again, your task is to help Johnny and his friends identify what character aspect is shown in the movie The Joker using the jumbled letters flashed on your screen. Go! The correct answer is psychological. STI College Global City got the correct answer. STI College Legazpi got the correct answer. STI College Naga got the correct answer. STI College Ortigas Cainta got the correct answer. And STI College Tanay got the correct answer. The Joker, as the character of projects, disclosed the inner mechanism of the mind as exemplified by the habitual responses, attitudes, longings, purposes, likes, and dislikes. The psychological aspect of a character is considered as the most indispensable level of character categorization because of routines and emotions, thoughts, and attitudes. The physical, social, and moral are other character aspects.
Now let's proceed to question number 8 under the category of mathematics. Nestor issued 10,000 peso 30 days notes payable bearing an interest of 2% to Maybank. Your task is in 30 seconds, find the amount of money Nestor should pay after 30 days. Use 360 days for the interest and round off your final answer to the nearest whole number. Again, Nestor issued 10,000 peso 30 days notes payable bearing an interest of 2% to Maybank. In 30 seconds, find the amount of money Nestor should pay after 30 days. Use 360 days for the interest and round off your final answer to the nearest whole number. Go!